The Tormented. After the mandrill, my depression took over. I lost interest in doing anything, including making masks. I had no creative power and would often think of suicide. I have no fear of gore or death, and I let myself find inspiration there. A man so sick and tired of his existence he clawed his own face off. Thus the idea of the Tormented was born. I started with Crayola air dry clay and began shaping it to look like a normal face. This took a few hours of sculpting. I would soak the clay in water and place it onto the mask, smoothing it with my fingers until I got the shape I was looking for. The nose was particularly fun, as I used a pencil to get the nostril right. I spent a good bit of attention on the nose as I wanted it to feel realistic and close to my own. I wanted the right side of the nose to already have been torn off the face, so I used the skull mask's outline of a nose and crafted half of one I'm happy with. After letting the clay dry, I made sure that some of the looser bits were sealed in with epoxy. Then I added more clay to make rib flesh textures and make the nose a little bit smoother. I also added an eyelid to the left eye so the fake eye could bulge out. After I was done with the clay, I waited for it to mostly dry, then I sprayed it with a rubber spray. This held everything together and kept the clay from cracking. After that was done, I sprayed the whole thing with bone colored primer. This made painting the bone parts much easier. The next step was to paint the flesh and viscera. I started with the flesh. I painted with a dark flesh tone and dry brushed on lighter and lighter hues, using my own skin as a reference. Then I painted the inside of the left eye socket black. This shadowed it, making it seem deeper. I then used a technical paint designed to look like blood and painted bleeding wounds into the viscera. This came out far better than I could hope for. Then I took to the fake eye. I engraved veins into the eye with an engraving tool. Then I wiped it down with the technical paint designed to look like blood and glued it into place. I then decided to go to Sephora and buy an eyebrow brush and fake eyelashes to add a final realistic touch. The final steps were to paint the bone side. I had put some clay there to increase the feel of the clawing. I brushed on heavy amounts of the technical paint designed to look like blood. I kept the left eye open so I could see whilst performing. The Tormented helped me get back into the creative swing, but many people every day deal with mental illness. The number for the National Suicide Hotline Prevention in the United States is 1-800-273-8255. They are a very helpful resource, and I've called them myself.